brush, as our fork of it is called. I did a really nice version earlier this evening and then realised I'd messed it up because the audio wasn't on it, and I had the video overlay right over the top of everything, so hopefully I won't get that wrong. So I'm going to start, it's an underwater scene. I'm going to start with a nice dodecahedron, and let's bring our mirror guide around here. It's the same mirror guide that you normally get, except instead of 1 or 2 axes, we've now got an axis for every face of our chosen shape. So I'm going to use some nice earthy colours. I'm going to go earthy and then kind of underwater, we'll see. I'm using the shiny hole brush. Yeah, I kind of haven't thought this through terribly well because it's the third time I've tried drawing this and it's a bit different every time, so forgive me if it's a bit weird. But you know, maybe this will be the best version. So I've got, you notice that that's independent guides there, but every time I draw I'm getting a stroke on every face. So I'm just going to finish this one off with a nice, some nice tendrils there. Oh, that's quite nice. And I'm going to turn off the guides. Might as well select all that. I'm going to make a family of these things. Oh look, I've done the scale massively wrong. I should have done it. That's huge actually. So what I'll do is I'll select it all. And group it. And then get myself down to a sensible scale, human scale. And make this kind of plausibly kind of nicely scaled and not hugely out of proportion to everything else. So I'm going to make them all different shapes and orientations. Like there's a little family of them. There we go. Let's do that. It's quite nice. And the next thing I'm going to do, oh look, there's a little shadow of them down there. I'm going to try and use the grid symmetry tool to make a sea floor, like pebbles. And rather than one of the regular square or triangle or hex grids, I'm going to use one of the more irregular looking ones and then try and build up sort of a seabed of petals that's a mixture of regular and irregular, like not too regular but with a bit of a pattern to it. Let's get these out of the way. That's easy. If I move the grid itself I'll end up on it nice and flat. So let's see what kind of size. I'm going to use the matte hole this time. I'm going to start with a kind of neutral grey. Now you notice the one bug I've got is that if I draw, you can see the shapes aren't matching the scale of the grid. There is a scale that would match exactly, but I've not got it to coordinate yet. I'll fix that at some point. But the easiest thing to do is just to pick a grid that has the right sort of scale you want, and then when you start drawing you'll see the sort of symmetry pattern that you've got. I'm going to stick to fairly, oh that's a bit too saturated. I'm going to keep things away from the really saturated end of the spectrum. And put some kind of various muted shades in there, and maybe I'll also mix it up a bit and pick a different symmetry pattern. Still quite a busy one, and then put some shiny Have I still got pattern here? Oh, it's reset. Another bug. Every time you change the shape, it resets back to 8x8, which was too much for this. So let's go down. In fact, let's go right down to 3x3, so it doesn't match the underlying shape. And let's pick a contrasty colour, so it sort of stands out. That's too garish. Let's do. And let's maybe try a few different scales on that. So that's all right. I can live with that. It was better last time, but you know, I messed up the recording, so what can you do? So I might as well select all of that now. I quite like the scale of it, so I'm going to just keep that scale but duplicate it a few times. And as I duplicate it, I can also kind of add a bit of variation, so it doesn't line up. There's, you know, a bit of a tilt. It's not totally flat. Variation's good. Oh, I'm definitely channeling Bob Ross here, aren't I? Did he ever do underwater scenes? He should have done. Let's do that. Let's bring that last one over here. That's all right. Okay, that's fairly good. So what have I got now? Let's deal with the environment next. I'm going to just pick a standard white to reset everything, and then give it, I think the top should be greeny yellow, and the bottom should be a really dark underwater. So you've got that sense that you're looking down into the dark depths of the sea. That's all right. That'll do. You got me in the mood a bit more. So let's see what I've got going on here. See, I got my little sea creatures. I think we need some bubbles here. Always need bubbles. Where's the bubbles brush? There. Now, here's the thing. I've still got symmetry on. In fact, let's pick a more regular. I've still got grid symmetry on, so I'm going to pick isometric. And maybe 8x8 is too high, because I just haven't actually put the limits. It won't let me draw that many strokes because the limits I've set. Now, that's quite tight together, so let's do... Oh, that's too many brushes. Definitely don't need that many. Still a few too many, actually. Let's just do a few like that over there. And like that. Okay, that'll do. So, I'm going to now try and find something, another shape. I'm going to pick from this set of shapes. All have radial symmetry. This is an elongated pyramid. I'm going to go down to 5 sides. And you can see, here's my mirror here. I can align that anywhere I want. I'm going to go up a little bit bigger. Really doesn't want to go an arbitrary angle. I'll have to check how that works, but yeah, I'll do it. I'll model it this way around and then change it afterwards. Right, so what am I going to do here? What worked last time? Last time I had weird shiny little tendrils coming out. Let's use spikes. Let's see what they look like first. One colour scheme that's going to stand out here. Let's make this all quite garish greeny yellows. Oh yeah, that's quite nice, but I definitely want something a bit shinier. Oh, that's it, what I did last time. I used some of the new experimental brushes because you've got guts and muscle and stuff like that, and they've got a really nice quality to them. I'm going to start a bit more in from the middle so that I can fill around the outside afterwards with a sort of central body. And let's try. I want to make this disgusting this time. Let's go for a really unpleasant set of colours. Actually, it's starting to look like sweets. That's not disgusting enough. Something a bit more fleshy. Yeah, that's kind of alright. Let's fill in the body with. Make that a bit small. I'm going to use a smaller brush for that. There we go. Let's do that, but keep it a bit nearer the middle. So now I've got some weird kind of veiny things on the inside. I'm going to use the diamond hull and give it some kind of squelchy psychedelia. Diamond hull, and then I'm going to go a bit mad with colours here. The idea is this is all supposed to be kind of some weird innards of a sea creature. Now, last time I noticed that that's alright. Maybe a bit brighter than I wanted, but I like the combination of solid detail and then a whole bunch of translucent stuff going on. Yeah, who knows? I mean, you never quite expect it to turn out the way it does. Managed to mess up. Oh, I've got to watch out. I'm going to select my bubbles by mistake. Not the end of the world. And then once again, kind of quite nice if there's more than one of those. Oops, I was going to throw that away, but you can't. That's alright. Yeah, I would have liked maybe the innards to be a bit less bright. That kind of translucent stuff's sort of a bit overpowering. I suppose I could try filling it in with some of the other brushes, but it's not too bad. Yeah, you know, the one I recorded where I messed up the audio, in some ways I preferred it, but this is kind of alright. Oh, I am going to create something that worked quite nicely on the other runs, was using a shape like a cupola, and putting it on the seabed, like 4 sides. Notice I can't scale the guides. I've got to scale the world to get the scale I want. That's another, it's not exactly a bug, more a missing feature. So I kind of, I think this is going to be a kind of weird sea anemone thing. So I'm going to find some colours that aren't already massively overused. In fact, let's use the nice smooth holes, quite fun. So again, I'm going to end up with a brush stroke for every face. Oh, that's not quite working right. Why is that not working right? How do I... Oh yeah, that'll do. Kind of want to go darker and slightly redder. And then let's put something that really contrasts with that. A much smaller brush. In fact, let's even go shiny. Let's go back to one of the... Maybe something iridescent could happen here. Just our disco. Let's try that with a slightly bigger brush. I'm not sure what this is meant to be, but you know. A bit of artistic license here. Okay. It's a bit different to what I had in mind, but you know, I don't mind it. Just for comparison, I'll show you the one I did earlier that I think was more successful. I'll just save this one. Even though these are all experimental features, they save and load quite well. They don't break anything. The fact that I've used experimental brushes is the biggest problem. You won't be able to use it on a copy of Tilt Brush that hasn't got those brushes. But if you'd been more restrained and stuck to the standard brushes, you'd be fine. Not all these features would work perfectly well on a normal copy of Tilt Brush. And here we go. This is the one I did earlier. Oh, that's what I forgot. I forgot the little dangly things on them. Let's speed up the loading of this. Oh, it doesn't like that. There we go. So yeah, here's the one I did earlier. But yeah, this one's a bit more successful. I think the bubbles are a bit more in a better proportion, and I like those sparkly feet on those floating things. And I think I got a better job of the colours here. Oh yeah, and that makes a bit more sense as well. So yeah, every time I do it, it turns out a bit different. I'm not much of an artist in the painty sense of the word, but hopefully this gives you a few. This is more about doing a demo of how the Symmetry tools can be interesting creatively. Here's another one from earlier as well. So it's basically the third time I've done this same sketch. And in this one I tried to do a water surface, but it didn't quite work out right. I think I'd have to think more about how to get a good water surface effect. And I think this one was just a little, this is just a little experiment I did. Nothing, it's not meant to be anything, I just was scribbling there. I think that's it, that's the only saved ones I've got using the Symmetry tools. Yeah, there you go. I'm now gonna, I'll try and release this at some point soon, at least do a build so people can try it out. It's pretty buggy, but hopefully it's useful enough to be fun. I'm quite enjoying it. Yeah, alright, thanks.